Dear friends and colleagues, the 144th IOC session has elected as the 10th President of the International Olympic Committee, Mrs. Kirsty Coventry.
Dear President and my very dear colleagues, this is an extraordinary moment. As a 9-year-old girl, I never thought that I would be standing up here one day, getting to give back to this incredible movement of ours. This is not just a huge honor, but it is a reminder of my commitment to every single one of you, that I will lead this organization with so much pride, with the values at the core, and I will make all of you very, very proud and hopefully extremely confident in the decision that you've taken today. Thank you from the bottom of my heart, and now we've got some work together. And I would like to really thank the candidates, all of my candidates. This race was an incredible race, and it made us better. Made us a stronger movement. I know from all of the conversations that I've had with every single one of you, how much stronger our movement is going to be when we now come back together and deliver on some of those ideas that we all shared. Thank you very much for this moment, and thank you very much for this honor. Thank you.
Well, that is Kirsty Coventry, who is the new president of the International Olympic Committee, taking over from Thomas Park. She's a former Olympic swimmer. She is Africa's most successful Olympic athlete, in fact. She has been a member of the IOC since 2018 and is currently, I don't think she'll be this anymore, Minister of Youth, Sport, Arts and Recreation for the government of Zimbabwe. She's also the first woman, of course, to hold that role as the president of the IOC. Our sports correspondent, Rob Harris, is in Greece watching this event and joins us now live. So, Rob, we heard a few words there from Kirsty Coventry accepting the nomination, the title as president. What does she have in front of her in terms of work to do for the IOC?
Well, this really is a landmark moment for the International Olympic Committee. In their 131-year history, they've never had a female president, and Kirsty Coventry will be only the 10th president of the Olympic movement, now becoming the most powerful woman in world sport, and in the years to come she will have to navigate the build-up particularly to the 2028 Los Angeles Olympics, and that means contending with all the unpredictability of Donald Trump in the White House. Of course, as sports minister in Zimbabwe, Kirsty Coventry is very adept and comfortable in the political world, and she will also be able to navigate things around gender eligibility. We've heard so much from Donald Trump about banning transgender women from women's sport, threatening to deny visas to trans women trying to compete in women's sport at the Olympics. Now, it is something that affects very few people, but Coventry has said it is something that needs addressing. She says there needs to be a clear position from the IOC rather than previously leaving it to individual sports to decide, and talking about the need to protect that female category. So that's a very delicate issue for her to address. But in some ways she will be seen as the continuity candidate, seen as very close to the incumbent Thomas Bach, and not necessarily offering very radical suggestions to change the movement more, as we've been hearing from many candidates, about maintaining that relevance, protecting athletes' welfare and ensuring that is high on the priority, and about sort of maintaining that sort of relevance of the Olympics going forward. If we look further ahead, one of the big things that the IOC president gets to preside over is who hosts the Olympics. Often these are now decisions taken behind the scenes without the type of vote we've seen today. And the next big one to be awarded will be the 2036 Olympics at some point. Will that go to the Middle East for the first time? But obviously this is a day also to reflect on the losing candidate. Sebastian Coe had hoped to become International Olympic Committee president himself, hoping to reach the very pinnacle of the sport after being a gold medalist himself twice at Olympics in the past and leading world athletics for the last decade. But this really has been a disappointing defeat for him. There was an expectation perhaps that this vote could go multiple rounds, but Kirsty Coventry securing more than 50% of the vote in the first round. So a big defeat for Seb Coe, who perhaps had been the most radical of the candidates, calling for prize money for Olympic medalists, something resisted by many in the Olympic world, and that ultimately might have cost him his chance of glory, being seen as more of a disruptor. But now we will shortly be hearing perhaps from Lord Coe here. He's due to be speaking where we are, just outside the room where the announcement was made by Thomas Bach here in the southwest of Greece, and shortly we'll also be hearing from Kirsty Coventry about more of her plans now for sport, a sport she was so successful in herself, Africa's most successful Olympian, two-time gold medalist in the pool, so certainly has shown how adept she is as an athlete, made that sort of transition into becoming a sports politician and a politician nationally in Zimbabwe as well. So quite a moment as well for Africa, the first African president of the Olympics. The Olympics has never been in Africa, so perhaps that will also become a priority to make this a more global games going forward. And while we're focused on the summer games, also the Winter Olympics also in the future has its own challenges posed by climate change, and just where can actually host the Olympics to deal with the impacts of a sort of warming world, and fewer cities able to host those winter games. But this is the day when Kirsty Coventry, a name that might not be familiar for many, but certainly will be going forward, has become the new boss of the Olympic movement, the most powerful woman in sport, and someone we'll be seeing at opening and closing ceremonies for years to come, with this an 8-year term she's been elected to. And at 41, she's the youngest ever president of the IOC as well.